Hello, I'm Robin Clevitt from the Skill Builder channel.
And I'm Roger Bisbee.
I've come out on site today because Robin's busy, really busy, trying to get stuff done before that horrible 2 weeks where we'll have to stop work. It's called Christmas, isn't it?
It is, but I don't mind Christmas. It's a nice time to let your hair down.
I don't mind Christmas, Boxing Day. After that, mate, it goes on a bit, doesn't it? I'm losing money.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, so what we've got, this is a late entry, Robin, so that's why I brought it up to see you, because it didn't arrive with all the others, but it's the Triton, so people wanted us to do what they might consider the lower end. They wanted us to do some cheaper ones. They said, it's all right if you can afford all those Maffels and Festals, but what if you can't? What if you just want to use one occasionally? Well, this fits that bill.
It certainly does, mate. I mean, it doesn't look dissimilar to the Urbau, does it?
Well, I've got to say, Robin, I think it's the same machine.
Right.
I think the difference is the colour.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything on this machine. I've had a good look at it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything on this machine that isn't absolutely identical to the Urbau. It's got the 1400 watt motor.
Yep.
Spare brushes, 2 tracks that have got Triton written on them, but actually they're the same as the kit you get with the Urbau. You've got 2 clamps.
Yep.
And you've got
a little bag there that it comes in as well.
I love a good bag.
It's a little bit odd, but it'll do the trick. So what can we say about this? I mean, straight away when you look at this tool, everything's a little bit more fragile than you might get with a premium brand. But what I will say about it is some of the components are quite robust. Like the base is pretty robust.
Yeah, it's a nice cast base.
Nice and solid. It all looks about right. The plastic's a bit plasticky. But
plasticky.
It reminds me of when a big digger brand bought out power tools.
Oh yeah, right? JCB.
Yeah. JCB. Yeah. Everything was really kind of.
Do you know what they didn't touch them. That's the tragedy.
I'm sure they didn't make them because their backhoe loader was the best invention they ever came up with, obviously.
Cyril Bamford.
Yeah.
You know, I said to them, why are you doing this? Why are you diluting your brand with this, let's face it, a lot of cheap Chinese rubbish, a lot of it. And they went, oh, well, you know, and they franchised it. Now they spend a bit of time quality controlling things, looking at it, but it's still not. I don't think it dignifies their brand at all myself. Anyway, that's them, that's JCB, that's another subject.
So who might this tool be for? This tool might be for a really good handyman, say, who's going to get it out once or twice a year.
Or handy woman.
Or handy woman, handy person, okay. It's got a pretty decent little blade on it. Everyone's running with these really thin curved blades now, aren't they? So again,
that's a chunky one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'd say the.
It's not plugged in, folks.
I'd say
I'm just nervous.
That is probably slightly thinner than a standard Festal blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
In terms of millimetres. It's got a lot of teeth on it, which is going to help.
Yeah. So we get a finer cut. I'll run it through. I'll give it a few cuts.
Yep.
I know you're busy. You've got to get off and do a bit of work in there. Keep the guys moving.
Yep.
I'll run a few cuts through. Then I'll give you a shout. You come back and run some cuts through. But really, I don't expect this to be any different to the Urbau. I really don't.
Well, let's give it a go. We've got to give it its opportunity like all the others have had as well.
Okay, mate.
So
I'll crack on with that.
I'll see you in a bit,
cheers, mate. Thanks. Robin.
Hello, Roger. What's up, mate?
Have a look at this. Have a go at this.
Have a go at it?
Right, let's look at my dust here.
Let's have a little look at that. Right, so we're on the full depth setting. You've gone down to the full depth. Cable out of the way.
Now let me just tighten those back up because I've just been beveling with it without a lot of success. You can't actually do a bevel cut on a 40mm worktop.
No, probably won't have the depth of cut.
It doesn't, no.
Might only have about 44mm or something like that, if you're lucky, but when you're on a rail you lose a bit. Right, let's give this a Scribe cut. Well, the first thing is it feels a little bit there's a lot of vibration coming through the saw. That's the first thing I noticed, and I've only gone 3mm into that bit of work surface there. Yeah. Secondly, it slips a little bit, so I think you'd need the clamps if you was going to use this for... It does,
doesn't it? It's not that sticky, that rubber, is it?
I mean, to be fair, this is quite a hot, sort of shiny surface, so it's...
Yeah, but that's what I used it on the other ones. Everything else was done on worktop, so...
And I think it's it's good to compare like with like. Okay, I'm going to give it a...
And plus, it'd be a fairly typical job you'd be doing with it, would be cutting worktop.
Yeah. So. Okay, so I'm going to go for the full plunge. I'm going to plunge in and go.
Yeah.
Let's see, so I'm going to set that back to full depth now, which is there.
I've got you right on there, so be careful you don't...
Hit my stalls, that's all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
Right, here we go, I'll run it up. Well, to be honest, it cut it. So it's done the job that we set out for it to do. Let's finish that cut off. Let's pull that back to there, see how it all lines up. Get my little anti-kickback releasing. We're back in business. I don't like that kickback. I can't get used to that.
No.
Anyway, it's a safety feature.
That's not great. That breakout's not good. Why is that breakout there?
Well, the first thing I noticed, Roger, is sometimes when you pick a tool up, it's got a blade that you've obviously fitted into it. Could be a jigsaw, circular saw.
Yeah.
A lot of vibration going on there. That could be caused by a number of things. So it's simply just the mechanism as it comes through. There might be something which is millimetres off. So it's got a bit of vibration. Let's just run it up just in the air here.
It's a nice soft start.
I can definitely feel vibration coming through it, which isn't what I'd expect. I'll unplug it. I want to have a quick look at the blade.
I was going to say, I'll take the blade off if you like and see what...
Let's just
it's obviously fitted the right way round. It's an Allen key.
Yeah, there's one in the handle.
Let's just pull it out. That's it.
That's it, we're away. Right, let's have a little look at this. First of all, see how they hold it in. Is it a beveled? No, there's no bevel there. Let's take out the sensor. Let's ease that out.
I'm just going to run this, Robin, without a blade in it.
All right, let me just check there's no loose parts. Take that out of there.
All right, clear?
Yeah. Let's see how it sounds without the blade.
Yeah,
ready?
go on. Much better.
Yeah,
that's a world apart, isn't it?
It's a lot smoother. I mean, it might be just all to do with this blade, Roger.
There's no obvious buckle on it or anything, is there?
No. Sometimes you find that, when it's assembled, there may just be something just not quite right. So we've popped the Allen key back in its handle. Now
plug in.
We're going to run it back up. Roger's plugging me in. We're going to run it back up, see if we can feel that vibration again.
Better?
Yeah.
It does sound a bit better. Definitely sounds a bit better. Run it. Let's go through one more.
Right, let's run it back in. There's not so much breakout. Still a little bit here. And I'll tell you why there's that breakout there, shall I?
Go on.
If you look at this track, it's open here.
Yeah, I saw that. I fitted it together.
So obviously there's a lot of tolerance here.
I couldn't close it.
You couldn't get it any closer?
I couldn't get it closer than that. I'll try again. But I'd rather use a single track actually. If I had a Festool one.
So let me just explain what's happening there. Because it wasn't quite true,
yeah,
and you're coming along, as it starts steering slightly off, the blade then is going to start catching that, and it's exactly what's happened there. If I rest that on there, and you look at the distance between that and the centre of the blade, it's exactly where it started to do the breakout. So I think you really need to get these tracks straight. So a little tip for anybody, whether it's a Festool track, whether it's a lower end track like this, you want to set that up against something like a straight edge, a spirit level, or something like that. And I'm going to offer it against a straight edge. 1 second. You know, if you're in the trade and you use one of these, you won't get much straighter than this in normal practice.
Depends how many times you throw it in the back of the van, mate.
So it's still well out of true, isn't it?
Yes.
Look at that.
Look at that.
And that's by keeping the joint straight. So
yeah, yeah.
I think the let's have your Allen key again, Alan. Roger. Alan. Alan again.
Let's have your Roger key, Alan.
Yeah, that's well out of true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry about this. We're going to have to get this right. We're going to loosen everything off a touch. We're going to start again.
I'm just going to bring that up slightly. I don't want people crying foul, saying you had it set too deep. You know that when people say you got the blade set too deep,
yeah,
because it's taking too much of the...
Let's have a look at that point in the middle we were talking about. You see, that's eliminated that breakout there. Now it's a much more even breakout all the way along.
It's got loads of breakout. Yeah, no, see, it's breaking out there, mate. I've got to say, I'm not going to spend any more time on this. Okay, so we've had a go of it. What do you think, Robin?
Well, I'm not over impressed with it, but, you know, what do you expect for the money?
Okay, well, I personally would expect a bit more for the money. That's what I'm like. I think that the kind of money this is going out at, say around the 200 quid mark, it's not going to cost you a lot more money to get something decent to get yourself a Makita. Actually, I've got quite a bit of respect for Triton stuff because you know you've got that big triple blade planer that they've got, which is lovely, isn't it? Yeah. And I've had other bits of kit, their impact driver, for example, which is really good. So I think what they've done here, well, I know what they've done here, is they've rebadged something. They've got something the same place as Urbar and all the rest of them, and they've rebadged it. They've badged it up, painted it orange or whatever, and it's filled a gap in their market.
So it's almost like they have a track saw
range.
for the sake of it, as opposed to
well,
something they've developed themselves.
You know, I think all power tool manufacturers do this, don't they? They've got a range and they look at it and go, I've got a gap there. We'll buy somebody else's, we'll badge it up.
Yeah, there are some manufacturers you immediately go to because they're strong in a certain area.
Yeah, and the rest of it is a me too, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's our finding anyway. That we didn't love it, and that is our last track saw review. And the next thing is the roundup. So we're not going to bore you with any more tests on track saws. I think we've done them to death, haven't we?
We certainly have. Well, I've certainly learnt a lot. It's been so interesting for me to see other saws, pick other saws up. So thanks to the manufacturers for loaning us the saws and letting us use them.
Yeah, even if I did take them back a bit soon sometimes. Anyway, have a look at the roundup. We'll be back soon with that, won't we? And you can see what we found.
Don't forget to subscribe to Skill Builder. There are so much stuff coming up. We've got the new year and we've got so many new products and things to show you. So keep checking back and tell your friends. Thanks.
You're going to stay with us, are you?
I'm going to stay. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm seeing stuff I've not seen before, trying stuff I've not tried before. So please subscribe.